All right, good morning. So this is day 2 of my video log, which is tracking my progress in preparing for the LSAT. I'm doing this again so that I can hopefully help others. First, I'm a verbal processor, so talking it out, my wife can only take so much. And so um, hoping that maybe I can help some other people with this. Maybe somebody else will see my video and it will encourage them in some way. And so if that's the case, then this is for you, and it's also for me. So uh, I started by evaluating several different LSAT courses. I started by evaluating Kaplan, LSAT Max, Blueprint, and one other. So I then brought it down to LSAT Max and Blueprint just because they had the best software that I could see from evaluating without buying into the other programs. They were also competitively priced. And my particular case, I thought LSAT Max was the best choice. I actually went ahead and purchased the Blueprint also as a test because you can do it for 5 days and cancel. So I did go ahead and purchase that with Blueprint, and after doing so, continued to evaluate LSAT Max as well. And when I heard that LSAT Max has a 50% discount for military, that was immediately my choice. Just because it was so close between the two already, that that just pushed me over the edge because I am very fond of the military and I value the military very much. I have a lot of family. I think I've got a family member in every American war, at least in the 20th century. So that is important to me, and maybe important to you, maybe not. But for me, the LSAT Max seemed to be the best choice. And so a little bit about my backstory is several years ago, I started the process of thinking about going to law school and selling my business and switching over to this. So I didn't do that on a whim. I read law books. I found a website that showed Harvard Law's top 10 books to read for first-year law students. Read most of those. Highly recommend 24 Hours with 24 Lawyers. That's very fun reading. And I ultimately ended up spending a lot of time reading A Concise History of the Common Law by Plunkett, something like that. You can just look it up, a concise history of the common law. Actually, I'll grab up the title for you here just to show you. But I ended up spending a lot of time reading that one because I realized that American law was based on British law, which comes from or what developed over time in a process which is commonly referred to as common law. So we are a common law system, which is based on precedent and previous decisions, and obviously established written law. So here is the title of that, Concise History of the Common Law, Theodore Plunkett. So anyway, he very informative book, really I believe gave me a lot of context, and when I found that I enjoyed reading it, it further encouraged me to continue down this path of seeking to go to law school. In the process of all that, I took several LSAT practice tests, not timed. They're what you call a cold score, and I didn't actually take them under time conditions where I was, in a full test situation, and actually didn't really do that with LSAT Max either, and I'll get into that in a second. But I got 150 on both of the LSAT pre-tests that I took, or the LSAT practice tests, and they're, I think, all the June 2007 tests. So I got 150 on both of those, felt rather confident about that result. But again, they weren't under timed conditions and they weren't in test conditions. I'm a business owner, father, husband, didn't really have, honestly, 3 hours of good time at any point in my life to give to that. It would be, late at night or early in the morning. And I guess I just didn't have the the umption to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to try and do that test. And I'm not sure that would have been that would have been any better. So anyway, all that to say, I did finally end up purchasing LSAT Max, as I said, and I'm going to pull up both. I should have had this blueprint one pulled up already, and show you what my original testing results were, and then show you what my LSAT Max testing results were. Now, the LSAT Max test results were worse. They were under timed conditions, and I also so we purchased a quarter of a cow from one of our relatives, and we had planned on eating these ribs that came from that, and had thawed them, and it was the day they had to be cooked and they have to be smoked, and you can see maybe behind me here is my smoker. I was doing that while I was taking the LSAT, so probably not a good idea. My son did help me at the very end, but I did have to kind of keep my eye on that as well, and he was interrupting me ever so often. So let's get into my LSAT blueprint score here, and I'll show you what I got there. Here is Blueprint's website. Let's see if I have my exam here. Maybe it's this law school compass where they have it. That's interesting. The last time I looked at this, it was 150, but now they've got it at 138, so that's even worse. So over at LSAT Max, when I did it yesterday, under all the conditions I told you, on the iPad, they have a great way you can do it on iPad there. So here was my score, 141, under those conditions. And so launching pad, I am hoping, I want to get a perfect score on the LSAT. If it can be done, why wouldn't I shoot for that? I know it's very rare to be able to do that, but I have the next 13 weeks to dedicate my full attention other than 1 day a week, and obviously the days off. So I'm going to have the better part of 13 weeks every day to, I guess there's a vacation, so it's going to be 12 weeks, and there may be a few weekend trips in there. So I guess I'm kind of squeezing it back a little bit, but I have a lot of time between now and the test date in August 14th. So I am going to be working my tail end off, trying to get the best score that I can. I'm starting today with logical reasoning, little Max here. So I'm on their website, which has everything. You do your intro. I did a lot of that. And then you do your practice LSAT. And then here's logical reasoning, which is the first section. They also have our convenient calendars here, and they're based on your LSAT test date. I'm going to be an August test date here, so it shows you, all this. Now, as you can see, it should have started in early April, and this would have been really great to know. I did do some research before I got to my summer term in Bushnell University, to find out how much time I needed to allot, and it turned out that it was 300 hours or something like that, which I got down to the time that I have available. So maybe that's the same as this schedule pans out to. The guy that was my sales representative, Alex, who was really great, told me that I would probably get through all their courses a lot faster than this, since I'm dedicating my whole day to it every day. But this is their calendar that they produce for you to kind of follow. At the end, it's mostly practice and review. So I did purchase 10 hours of tutoring because I do have the desire to get the best score that I can. I understand that's a major part of your entrance into law school is judged on your LSAT test score. So that's where I'm at this point. I'm going to start watching and taking notes on this intro to logical reasoning. And I hope this was helpful to someone. If this helped you, then leave me a comment below, or if you have something else that you'd like to see in a future video, leave a comment below. Thanks.